Welcome to Wonderslate. Subscribe to our YouTube channel for more updates. Topic for today's quiz is Poverty Finance Planning, Economic or Social Development. Question number 1. Which one of the following 5-year plans recognized human development as the core of all development efforts? Option A. The Third 5-Year Plan. Option B. The Fifth 5-Year Plan. Option C. The Sixth 5-Year Plan. Option D. The Eighth 5-Year Plan. The correct answer is Option D. The Eighth 5-Year Plan. In the Eighth 5-Year Plan, 1992 to 1997, the top priority was given to the development of the human resources, that is employment, education, and public health. Question number 2. What is the annual rate aimed in the Eighth 5-Year Plan? Option A. 5.6%. Option B. 6%. Option C. 6.5%. Option D. 7%. The correct answer is Option A. 5.6%. The targeted annual growth rate was 5.6%, but the actual growth rate was 6.7%. Question number 3. The largest source of financing the public sector outlay of the Eighth 5-Year Plan comes from Option A. Balance from current revenue. Option B. Contribution of public enterprises. Option C. Government borrowings. Option D. Deficit financing. The correct answer is Option B. Contribution of public enterprises. Financing of the Eighth 5-Year Plan's outlay in the public sector. Question number 4. The new Exim Policy announced in 1992 is for a period of Option A. 3 years. Option B. 4 years. Option C. 7 years. Option D. 5 years. The correct answer is Option D. 5 years. The new Exim Policy was 5 years, April 1, 1992 to March 31, 1997. Question number 5. The Eighth 5-Year Plan is different from the earliest ones. The critical difference lies in the fact that Option A. It has a considerably larger outlay compared to the earlier plans. Option B. It has a major thrust on agricultural and rural development. Option C. Considerable emphasis is placed on infrastructure growth. Option D. Industrial licensing has been abolished. The correct answer is Option A. It has a considerably larger outlay compared to the earlier plans. Eighth 5-Year Plan, 1992 to 97, had a bigger outlay, with energy being given 26.6% of total outlay to achieve a targeted growth rate of 6.78% per annum. Question number 6. The Sixth and the Eighth 5-Year Plans covered the period 1980 to 1985 and 1992 to 1997 respectively. The Seventh 5-Year Plan covered the period Option A. 1987 to 1992. Option B. 1986 to 1991. Option C. 1985 to 1990. Option D. 1988 to 1994. The correct answer is Option C. 1985 to 1990. The period from 1990 to 1992 was the second plan holiday. The first plan holiday was between 1966 to 1969. Question number 7. Economic Survey in India is published officially every year by the Option A. Reserve Bank of India. Option B. Planning Commission of India. Option C. Ministry of Finance, Government of India. Option D. Ministry of Industries, Government of India. The correct answer is Option C. Ministry of Finance, Government of India. Economic Survey in India is published officially every year by the Ministry of Finance, Government of India, and issued before the annual budget. It reviews the development in the Indian economy over the previous 12 months. Question number 8. Which one of the following regions of the world supplies the maximum of our imported commodities? in terms of rupee value? Option A, Africa. Option B, America. Option C, Asia and Oceania. Option D, Europe. The correct answer is option D, Europe. The region which supplies the maximum of our imported commodities is Europe. Question number 9. The planning process is the industries sector in India has assumed a relatively less important position in the 90s as compared to that in the earlier period. Which one of the following is not true in this regard? Option A. With the advent of liberalization, industrial investment development have largely been placed within the domain of private and multinational sectors. Option B. With market assuming a central place, the role of central planning in many sectors has been rendered redundant. Option C. The focus of planning has shifted to sectors like human resource. Option D. The focus of planning has shifted away from industrial development to rural development. The correct answer is option D. The focus of planning has shifted away from industrial development to rural development. Option A, B and C are true, which explain the declining important position of the industry sector after the 90s in the planning process. Question number 10. Which one of the following is the objective of the National Renewal Fund? Option A. To safeguard the interests of workers who may be affected by technological upgradation of industry or closure of sick units. Option B. To develop the core sector of the economy. Option C. For the development of infrastructure such as energy, transport, communications and irrigation. Option D. For human resource development such as full literacy, employment, population control, housing and drinking water. The correct answer is option A. To safeguard the interests of workers who may be affected by technological upgradation of industry or closure of sick units. The concept of the National Renewal Fund was announced by the government as a part of the new Industrial Policy, 1991. The government established the National Renewal Fund (NRF) by a Government of India resolution on 3rd of February 1992. Question number 11. The Employment Assurance Scheme envisages financial assistance to rural areas for guaranteeing employment to at least option A. 50% of the men and women seeking jobs in rural areas. Option B. 50% of the men seeking jobs in rural areas. Option C. 1 man and 1 woman in a rural family living below the poverty line. Option D. 1 person in a rural landless household living below the poverty line. The correct answer is option C. 1 man and 1 woman in a rural family living below the poverty line. Employment Assurance Scheme was launched on 2nd of October 1993. It is open to all adult rural poor who are in need of wage employment. A maximum of 2 adults per family would be provided wage employment when there is demand during lean agriculture season, subject to availability of funds. Question number 12. A rise in SENSEX means option A. A rise in prices of shares of all companies registered with Bombay Stock Exchange. Option B. A rise in prices of shares of all companies registered with National Stock Exchange. Option C. An overall rise in prices of shares of group up companies registered with Bombay Stock Exchange. Option D. A rise in prices of shares of all companies belonging to a group of companies registered with Bombay Stock Exchange. The correct answer is option C. An overall rise in prices of shares of group up companies registered with Bombay Stock Exchange. The increase in SENSEX reflects the overall mood of the economy. A rise in it means that investors and FIIs are positive about the growth of the Indian economy and expect that it will be sustained in the future. Question number 13. Instill into the vast millions of workers, men and women, who actually do the job, a sense of partnership and of cooperative performance. The above passage relates to option A. Plant development. Option B. Community development. Option C. Panchayati Raj system. Option D. Integrated Development Program. The correct answer is option B. Community development. Community development is a process where community members come together to take collective action and generate solutions to common problems. It seeks to empower individuals and groups of people with the skills they need to effect change within their communities. Question number 14. Economic liberalization in India started with Option A. Substantial changes in industrial licensing policy. Option B. The convertibility of Indian rupee. Option C. Doing away with procedural formalities for foreign direct investment. Option D. Significant reduction in tax rates. The correct answer is Option A. Substantial changes in industrial licensing policy. Economic liberalization in India started with industrial licensing. Question number 15. The growth rate of per capita income at current prices is higher than that of per capita income at constant prices because the latter takes into account the rate of Option A. Growth of population. Option B. Increase in price level. Option C. Growth of money supply. Option D. Increase in the wage rate. The correct answer is Option B. Increase in price level. The growth rate of per capita income at current prices is higher than that of per capita income at constant prices because current prices are influenced by the effect of price inflation. Question number 16. Global capital flows to developing countries increased significantly during the 90s. In view of the East Asian financial crisis and Latin American experience, which type of inflow is good for the host country? Option A. Commercial loans. Option B. Foreign direct investment. Option C. Foreign portfolio investment. Option D. External commercial borrowings. The correct answer is Option B. Foreign direct investment. Foreign direct investment is defined as investment by a foreign multinational or its subsidiary or a foreign company in terms of setting up a project in another country either by way of a 100% subsidiary or by way of a joint venture. Thus, FDI investment is long-term in nature. Thus, it cannot be pulled out of the country at short notice. It is also non-debt creating. Question number 17. 5-year plan in India is finally approved by Option A. Union Cabinet. Option B. President on the advice of Prime Minister. Option C. Planning Commission. Option D. National Development Council. The correct answer is Option D. National Development Council. In India, plans are formulated by the Planning Commission and are finally approved by the National Development Council. All state chief ministers, members of NDC. The NDC is headed by the Prime Minister of India. Question number 18. A country is said to be a debt trap if Option A. It has to borrow to make interest payments on outstanding loans. Option B. It has to abide by the conditionalities imposed by the International Monetary Fund. Option C. It has been refused loans or aid by creditors abroad. Option D. The World Bank charges a very high rate of interest on outstanding as well as new loans. The correct answer is Option A. It has to borrow to make interest payments on outstanding loans. A debt trap is a situation where you add on new debt in order to repay existing debt. Question number 19. Which one of the following is the correct statement? Service tax is oran. Option A. Direct tax levied by the central government. Option B. Indirect tax levied by the central government. Option C. Direct tax levied by the state government. Option D. Indirect tax levied by the state government. The correct answer is Option B. Indirect tax levied by the central government. All taxes which are the personal liability of an assessee come under direct taxes. They include income tax, professional tax, wealth tax, securities transaction tax, commodity transaction tax. On the other hand, The taxes which a person can recover from some other person but the liability of which remains of the person collecting such taxes are indirect taxes. These are custom duty, excise, service tax, VAT, CST. Question number 20. During which 5-year plan was the emergency clamped, new elections took place and the Janatha Party was elected? Option A. 3rd. Option B. 4th. Option C. 5th. Option D. 6th. The correct answer is option C. 5th. This is all happened from 1975 to 1978 during 5th 5-year plan, the period of which is 1974 to 1978. Question number 21. Which one of the following brings out the publication called Energy Statistics from time to time? Option A. Central Power Research Institute. Option B. Planning Commission. Option C. Power Finance Corporation Limited. Option D. Central Statistical Organization. The correct answer is option D. Central Statistical Organization. It is published by the Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation, Central Statistical Organization. Question number 22. A great deal of foreign direct investment, FDI, to India comes from Mauritius than from many major and mature economies like the UK and France. Why? Option A. India has preference for certain countries as regards receiving FDI. Option B. India has double taxation avoidance agreement with Mauritius. Option C. Most citizens of Mauritius have ethnic identity with India and so they feel secure to invest in India. Option D. Impending dangers of global climatic change prompt Mauritius to make huge investments in India. The correct answer is option B. India has double taxation avoidance agreement with Mauritius. India has comprehensive double taxation avoidance agreements, DTAA, with 23 countries. This means that they are agreed on rates of tax and jurisdiction on specified types of income arising in a country to a tax resident of another country. Under the Income Tax Act 1961 of India, there are two specific provisions, Section 90 and Section 91, which provide specific relief to taxpayers to save them from DTA. Section 90 is for taxpayers who have paid the tax in a country with which India has signed DTA, while Section 91 provides relief to taxpayers who have paid tax to a country with which India has not signed a DTA. Thus, India gives relief to both kinds of taxpayers. Mauritius by itself is a low tax counting. Question number 23. Inclusive growth as enunciated in the 11th 5-year plan does not include one of the following. Option A. Reduction of poverty. Option B. Extension of employment opportunities. Option C. Strengthening of capital market. Option D. Reduction of gender inequality. The correct answer is option C. Strengthening of capital market. Inclusive growth is broad-based growth, shared growth, and pro-poor growth. It excludes the capital markets which is left to operate by itself in the open market. Question number 24. Who of the following shall cause every recommendation made by the Finance Commission to be laid before each House of Parliament? Option A. The President of India. Option B. The Speaker of Lok Sabha. Option C. The Prime Minister of India. Option D. The Union Finance Minister. The correct answer is option A. The President of India. As per provisions given under Article 281 of the Indian Constitution, the recommendations of the Finance Commission go to the President, who is constitutionally bound to place it before the two houses of the Parliament. Question number 25. Which one of the following is responsible for the preparation and presentation of the Union Budget to the Parliament? Option A. Department of Revenue. Option B. Department of Economic Affairs. Option C. Department of Financial Services. Option D. Department of Expenditure. The correct answer is option B. Department of Economic Affairs. The DAS or the Department of Economic Affairs is responsible for preparation and presentation to the Parliament of Central Budget and the budgets for the state governments under President's rule and Union Territory Administration. Question number 26. In the context of India's 5-year plans, a shift in the pattern of industrialization, with a lower emphasis on heavy industries and more on infrastructure begins in Option A, 4th Plan. Option B, 6th Plan. Option C, 8th Plan. Option D, 10th Plan. The correct answer is Option C, 8th Plan. It was during the 8th Plan period, 1992-97, that emphasis was put on infrastructure development. Question number 27. In India, the tax proceeds of which one of the following as a percentage of gross tax revenue has significantly declined in the last 5 years? Option A, service tax. Option B, personal income tax. Option C, excise duty. Option D, corporation tax. The correct answer is Option C, excise duty. The excise duty's share in the total tax revenue, which was 41.3% from 1992 to 1993, declined to 25.1% from 2006 to 2007. The customs duty's share in the total tax revenue, which was 31.9% from 1992 to 1993, fell to 17.5% from 2006 to 2007, as a result of massive structuring on excise and customs. Question number 28. In terms of economy, the visit by foreign nationals to witness the 19 Commonwealth Games in India amounted to Option A, export. Option B, import. Option C, production. Option D, consumption. The correct answer is Option A, export. Income from tourism is an invisible export and brings foreign exchange in the country. Question number 29. Which one of the following statements appropriately describes the fiscal stimulus? Option A. It is a massive investment by the government in manufacturing sector to ensure the supply of goods to meet the demand surge caused by rapid economic growth. Option B. It is an intense affirmative action of the government to boost economic activity in the country. Option C. It is government's intensive action on financial institutions to ensure disbursement of loans to agriculture and health sectors to promote greater food production and contain food inflation. Option D. It is an extreme affirmative action by the government to pursue its policy of financial inclusion. The correct answer is Option B. It is an intense affirmative action of the government to boost economic activity in the country. Governments use fiscal policy to influence the level of aggregate demand in the economy. It is an effort to achieve economic objectives of price stability, full employment, and economic growth. Question number 30. Both foreign direct investment (FDI) and foreign institutional investor (FII) are related to investment in a country. Which one of the following statements best represents an important difference between the two? Option A. FII helps bring better management skills and technology, while FDI only brings in capital. Option B. FII helps in increasing capital availability in general, while FDI only targets specific sectors. Option C. FDI flows only into secondary market while FII targets primary market. Option D. FII is considered to be more stable than FDI. The correct answer is Option B. FII helps in increasing capital availability in general, while FDI only targets specific sectors. Foreign direct investment only targets a specific enterprise. It aims to increase the enterprise's capacity or productivity or change its management control. The FI investment flows only into the secondary market. It helps in increasing capital availability in general rather than enhancing the capital of a specific enterprise. The foreign direct investment is considered to be more stable than foreign institutional investor. Thank you for watching the video. If you'd like practice this quiz, then download the Wonderslate app now, link in the description below. If you have any suggestion for us, feel free to leave comments. If you liked the video and want to see more of it, hit the thumbs up and don't forget to click on subscribe button to get more updates of the future videos.